Hello and welcome to Crochet and Coffee. Today I am going to show you how to make a granny stripe square. So it's a square that has granny stripes in it, but it's not worked in rounds, it is worked in rows. So let's jump right into it. We're going to start with a foundation chain. So I'm going to make a slip knot and then we're going to chain. You need to chain a multiple of 3 and then plus 2. And for this square, I am going to chain 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And you can, of course, chain as many as you like as long as it's a multiple of 3 plus 2. If you wanted to make a blanket with this technique, you could just go ahead and chain, well, let's say 302 or less than that. So we're going to skip the first chain and then we're going to work into the second chain. I like to use the back loop on the chain and we're going to put in single crochets. So this first row will be all single crochets. So add 1 single crochet all across, which means because we chained 17 and skipped 1, we're going to end up with 16 single crochets. So I now have 16 single crochets across. I am going to do some color changes on each row, but not on this first one. I'm just going to continue with this color. So if you like to do a chain 3 to replace the first double crochet, just go ahead and do your chain 3 and turn, but I will do the stitch stacking method because I think it makes everything looks more even. So I am going into my first single crochet, grabbing the yarn, coming up 2 loops on the hook, yarning over and go through both of them. So this is a single crochet. And I go into this left front loop and I'm going to grab my yarn and come up 2 loops on the hook and yarn over and go through both. So this can replace your chain 3 in the beginning if you like that. Then I am going to add 1 more double crochet into that first stitch. So if you did your chain 3, you're just going to add 1 double crochet. There are many ways you can do this pattern, and some people like to start with 3 on the sides, but I find that this method I'm using today works best for me and gives me the best result. We're going to skip 2 stitches, so skipping this one and moving into this third one, and in there we're going to create a cluster of 3 double crochets. So just put in 3 double crochets in that same stitch. So that was 1, and 2, and 3. So this gives us our first granny stripe cluster. And we're going to skip 2 stitches and then go into this third one, yarning over, coming in and putting in 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And that you're just going to continue all the way, and I'll meet you over here at the end and show you how we do the last one. So now I'm almost at the end of this row. I have 3 stitches left. I'm going to skip those 2, and then in the very last stitch sitting over here, I am going to add 2 double crochets, so the same as we had in the beginning. So 1, and 2. So as you can see, the beginning and the end are the same. I'm going to fasten off this color and bring in a new one, and we'll do row number 3. So I am attaching this new yarn color. You of course don't have to do color changes between each row. And if you're not and you like to do the change, just chain 3 and turn your work. I will do this stitch stacking again. So I'm going into this first loop, or first top stitch, and I am attaching my yarn, and I am doing my single crochet using the front left loop and yarning over to create that first stitch. So on this third row we only have one double crochet in the beginning, so we're just moving into this chain space right here that was created on the row below, and in there we're going to put in 3 double crochets to create a new cluster. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we're moving over to the next chain space over here between the 2 clusters from the previous round. And in here we're also going to create a cluster of 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Moving into the next one. 1, and 2, and 3. And then we are almost at the end, so one more time. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to work in this chain space here, so it's a little bit smaller than the other ones because we only have 2 double crochets on the left from the previous row, but it is a cluster space, so we are going to work in there. So 3 double crochets, and then we're going to do as we did in the beginning. So we only have 1 double crochet, so we're only going to add 1 double crochet out in this top stitch from the previous round. If you did chains, that would be the 3rd chain from your beginning chain. So that was row number 3. I will do a color change again and we'll start on row number 4. So I'm ready to attach this lovely green color. Again, if you're not doing any color changes, you just turn your work. And if you're doing your chain 3s, you do your chain 3s, and then you're ready to start on the next one. I am going to attach this yarn, and I will do the stitch stacking one more time. So going in, coming up, doing a single crochet using that front left loop, and I have my first stitch. And on this row we're going to put in another double crochet in the same stitch. So if you did your chain 3, you're going to add a double crochet as well. And then we're not going to work in this space down here, but we're moving over here and putting in our 3 double crochets, creating a new cluster. And now you're more or less just ready to go, because the rest of this will be a repeat of round 3 and 4. So the red round and this green round. Just going to repeat those for the rest of the square or the blanket or whatever kind of project you're making. So you will alternate between having 1 double crochet at the beginning and at the end, or 2 double crochets at the beginning or at the end. And we're almost done with this row, so let me just show you real quick how it ends. And again, then you can do as many rows as you like. I will suggest that for the last row, when you're done, when you're kind of done with your project and it has the right height, finish the project with a 1 row of single crochets on the last one, because we did have a row of single crochets down here for the first one, so it looks better if you're not, like, say you were done now. Instead of just stopping here, I would definitely add 1 row of single crochets to match the bottom. So we're almost at the end here. So we're going to have 2 double crochets in our top stitch out here. So if you're doing chains, that would be your 3rd chain. So we're going to put in 2. And that is how this project goes. You can just turn your work and continue and do the same thing as we did for this row number 3, and then repeat row number 4 all the way. So I think my square is about done, at least because I want it to be sort of like a granny square. So I think with these 4 or 5, well 5 clusters I have on each round, 9 rows is the right number for me. So I just wanted to show you real quick what I meant with the chain one, the single crochets on top. So I just completed this last row, and I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work, and then I'm just going to put in 1 single crochet in all the top stitches. Just make sure you don't make them too tight, because I don't know, I personally have a tendency to tighten things up because I want them to look neat. But if you do that, you risk your project twisting a little bit and starting to change the, you can change the width of the project, and then it will just look weird. So just go ahead and do single crochets all the way, and then when you get to the end, you can fasten off. And if you did the color chains like I did today, you can start weaving in all of your ends. So that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day and see you in the next one.